Good evening! Welcome to tonight's edition of Quiztatorship, a trivia game that lets you deduce the answers by combining general knowledge with logical thinking. As we progress, the questions will be getting increasingly harder, so let's see how far you make it. Question 1. What video game character was named after the fact that he can run at the speed of sound? The answer is Sonic the Hedgehog. Question 2. On what occasion do you get 11 million Swedish kronor? The answer is when you're awarded the Nobel Prize. Question 3. What was depicted on an anti-racism poster because they're black, white and Asian? The answer is a panda. Question 4. What did Stephen King describe as the biggest keyhole in the history of mankind? The answer is the internet. Question 5. There is this Chinese fairy tale, 10 Pots of Wine. It is about 10 wise men who decided to get together and drink some wine. Wine would be put in a kettle and heated up. But one of them thought to himself, if everyone brings wine, the wine will be too strong. And so he brought water instead. The question is, how does the fairy tale end? The answer is, yep, you guessed it. All 10 men had the same idea. Question 6. When the monks of the Dominican order were banned from playing cards, they came up with a new game. What game was it? The answer is domino. Question 7. In 2006, what decision by the International Astronomical Union caused widespread outrage? The answer is to revoke Pluto's status as a planet. Question 8. There were 2 reasons Caesar wore a laurel wreath on his head. The first one was obviously to emphasize his status. What was the other one? The answer is to hide his receding hairline. Question 9. What horror movie had the working title A Long Night at Camp Blood? The answer is Friday the 13th. Question 10. On Californian beaches, when a surfer says they saw a man in a grey suit, what do they mean by that? The answer is that means they saw a shark. Question 11. At a wedding in the city of Suzhou in China in 2021, the groom's mother saw a birthmark on the bride's hand that was the same as the one on her daughter's hand. Now, her daughter had disappeared more than 20 years prior. After asking the bride's parents if the woman had been adopted, the mother was told that yes, the bride had indeed been adopted as a baby. Therefore, the bride was actually the groom's sister. However, the wedding was not stopped. Why not? The answer is because the man had been adopted as well, so the two were not related by blood. Question 12. Under Napoleon Bonaparte, in the early 19th century, a man called Eugène François Vidocq established the country's first police force. The police force consisted of men belonging to one particular occupation. Which one? The answer is they were all criminals. Question 13. There was a pig in South Africa that would paint in a style of abstract expressionism. Can you guess what name the animal was known under? I'll give you a clue. It's a pun. The answer is Picasso. Question 14. According to The Hollywood Reporter, who is the most powerful CEO in Hollywood? The answer is Bob Iger, CEO of Disney. Question 15. In the 1910s, what English composer became a skilled interpreter of horoscopes? The answer is Gustav Holst, who was inspired to write his famous planets after coming across a book on astrology. Question 16. Canaries were imported to Europe from the Canary Islands in the 15th century. However, the people shipping them would first carefully examine the product to make sure that only birds of a certain kind would be shipped. What was the criterion that the birds were sorted by? The answer is all canaries had to be male to prevent them from reproducing. Question 17. Complete the following quote by Mr. Ping from Kung Fu Panda. There is no secret ingredient. To make something special, you just have to blank. The answer is, you just have to believe it's special. Question 18. Sometimes the Danish like to make fun of their neighbors, the Swedes. They will say things like, here in Denmark, everything is better than in Sweden. The climate, the nature, the cuisine, even our character. There is only one thing that is better in Sweden. What is that thing according to the Danish? The answer is the neighbors, as in the neighboring country. Question 19. Puccini's last opera, Turandot, premiered on the 25th of April 1926 in Milan. Suddenly, in the middle of the third act, the conductor and orchestra stopped and the curtain came down. Why? The answer is, because that's how far Puccini had got before he died. The conductor turned to the audience and declared, "Here the opera ends," because at this point the maestro laid down his pen. The work was later completed by Franco Alfano. Question 20. Most of you would have heard of Bodhidharma, the famous Indian monk. One day he decided to choose a successor from among his disciples, and he asked them one question. What is the essence of wisdom? How did the disciple who eventually became his successor answer that question? The answer is, the disciple said, "I don't know." Thanks for watching. You don't have to like or subscribe or anything like that. But then, it's just one click, right? I would appreciate it. Check out the channel for more videos like this one, and have a peaceful night.